What you doing, hon?
Oh, hi everybody. I'm picking kale for our wraps and all.
Oh boy.
And so it's nice now I don't have to make the microgreens and all, or the sprouts.
Yep.
And then take a look, I watered the garden over here, and those purple flowers are from the sage plants, and the bees really love them. And the ones to the left, those are lavender.
To the right?
The right. And the left over there, but yes, the right. And you can see where their little flower buds are starting to come up, but they don't open until after the sage has flowered. And then, Kevin's taking a walk. The lower ones with the white little flowers, those are thyme plants, and they just kind of spread out, like they'll go root themselves from the branches. The original hole where they came from is in the center, but they just travel out.
So the white ones down here are the thyme. Here are some of the sage plants. Here are some of the lavender.
And your bees really love that flowers on the sage, you know?
Yes, they do. All right.
So that's what's going on here, and then I'm going to water, and Kevin and I are going to play in the garden.
Hey folks, Kevin here. Thanks for the lovely introduction, hon. Well, the smoke has subsided some here in central New York. Thoughts and prayers to everybody who's having so many challenges with all the smoke and the devastating fires and destruction that people are dealing with in Canada. New York City had some of the worst air quality conditions recently, and it's all over the whole northeast area here. And boy, it hit here pretty bad. Beautiful orange, looked like fog. It's all the smoke from the fires. But today's video is about we're going to get the sweet potato plants in the ground today. So those of you who've been watching for a while, we've made playlists about the sweet potatoes, growing them over time, and the processes we've gone from putting them in jars, sweet potatoes in jars in January and February with water, and then tearing off the slips and rooting the slips, and we did rooting slips in perlite. And gradually we've changed over the years, and last year I decided, well, when I'm harvesting the sweet potatoes, so this is last fall when it was harvest time, I went ahead and tore off all the beautiful sweet potatoes from the root mass that was there, cut off all of the vine material from it, so I just had little tiny stumps and some roots, and we stuck them in sorry about that, we stuck them in some pots. So we put them in, I guess, 4 pots. So this is one, another one, another one, another one. And then we laid trays alongside of the pots and just let the vines grow out on top of the trays over the winter months. Then we brought them over to the work area attached to the coop area. And I'm sorry, we brought them over into the coop and let them grow out there with very minimal attention. Thea would water them every several days or so. But this is sort of a set it and forget it method, and for in a cold temperate climate where we are, where you can't have the sweet potatoes outside, they'll just die. And with the deer, if you put them in places, the deer will just gobble them right up. This system seems to be our best system so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and transplant these into the sweet potato bed that I posted a video about recently. So we grew the sweet potatoes in this bed last year, had a cover crop. This was winter rye on this cover crop, on this bed, and terminated that with a flail mower, then put compost on top of the material that was broken down, mulched all the way up and all, and then put the double ground hardwood bark mulch on top of that to help suppress weeds from developing, and then put the drip tape on it. And I turned on the drip tape. We just hooked it up to our regular irrigation system. And what I'm going to do now is transplant those sweet potato plants into this bed, and we'll see how things look ultimately. Fingers crossed, everything will work out, and we'll have some beautiful sweet potatoes. And again, this is in our eastern garden plot, which is all fenced off because the deer will jump the fences, and they just love the sweet potatoes. But since it's overcast and smoke today, be a good day to get in. But the air quality is much better today than it has been for several days. So I'll get these started now. Here we go. Okay, that only took a couple of minutes to get the sweet potatoes in. Already pretty well established roots on these vines, you know, as opposed to slips and all. And not too much of the weedy material that was also growing up in these beds over time got transplanted into here at the same time. So it'll take a couple of days for the leaf material to straighten out and go dorsally for the sun for photosynthesis and all. But the vines with the roots on them, I think they're all pretty much covered up, which is real important so that they don't get desiccated. Fortunately, we got an overcast day today. I think it'll be at least a couple more days of the smoke and the overcast skies. They're calling for rain. I can see it around us, but we're not getting any rain, unfortunately. Really looking forward to getting some rain here. Everything, all the food forests, everything can really use it. But that's it for our sweet potato plantings today. I just wanted to give you an update and show you the progress that we're making with the rooted material, the roots from the sweet potatoes that we harvested last fall. Put them in pots. Let them overwinter, bring them in the house, lay little flats next to them with some soilless mixture initially. Laid the vines on them as the roots develop vines, so they laid on the surface. And some of those places where a leaf node was, some vines, some roots went down into that material. Then removed those from the house when it started getting a little bit warmer. I think it was in early March. Brought them over into the coop and then covered up and put more soil on top of them and expanded the vines further to other flats. And they've been in the coop now since since that point. About a week ago, Thea went ahead and cut the vines away from each other, so all the flats were independent of each other, and they were independent of the pots to let the roots really develop over the next week. And I think it's a week, maybe it's 2 weeks now, I can't remember. Then it's okay to go ahead and transplant them. I don't want to cut them and then transplant them immediately. It's a bit of a stress coming from their main nutrient supply from the roots in the main pots. Give them a chance with the vines being cut, segregated from the mother plant, and allow them to get established in the same soil that they've been in for a good week or 2 weeks and all. Then we just got them transplanted now. So fortunately, it's pretty cool today. It's just going to be in the upper 50s, I think. And so that's about it. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. We do have a whole playlist on the sweet potato plants that we've been growing over the years and all. And I'll try to do a garden update here really soon. Some of the scarlet red runner beans are coming up. It's time to harvest garlic scapes, all of those sorts of things. So hope you folks stay safe, take good care of yourselves, check in on your family members and neighbors and all, the elderly people in your neighborhood. Make sure they're doing okay. It's pretty tough on them. Anybody with respiratory disease, it's an issue. Children with asthma, all of those sorts of things. Think about them and take good care of them. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye-bye now.